guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We are here at Sarasota Super Sport Performance, and we have something that is definitely a special kind of muscle-powered sports car. What the heck am I talking about? I'm talking about this car right here. This is Sarasota Super Sport Performance's special Miata SS. And as you can see, this is a Mazda Miata, that RF, retractable fastback, but like I said, with those letters SS, which stands for Super Sport. But before we get into this V8 powered Miata, let's talk about what's going on here. It's nothing new, believe it or not, to take a small sports car and pump it up with muscle car steroids. If you go back to the early days of Carroll Shelby, that's where he got the idea of taking the AC cars, specific Ace, the AC Ace, and turning it into the Shelby Cobra. A lot of other people don't remember or don't even know that he also took another British sports car, which is the Sunbeam Alpine, and he converted it into what is known as the Sunbeam Tiger. That's where he took that British sports car and shoehorned a 289 cubic inch V8 underneath the hood from a Mustang. Now, what's fascinating is there's a lot of people doing engine swaps, but this specific Miata SS is more than just an engine swap. This is actually a total turnkey example to where you call up Sarasota Super Sport Performance and they will build you one of these Miatas. Now, yes, they'll take your Miata if you have it, your current gen Miata, and convert it into one of these Miata SSs, but they're very proud to bring a full turnkey example that when the car shows up to your doorstep, you are ready to rock and roll. Now, of course, it's one thing to take a big, huge V8 and get it to sit underneath the stock hood of a Miata. That's one challenge. But what's awesome is that Sarasota Super Sport Performance, they go beyond that. It's not just the engine. We're talking about special transmission. We're talking about bespoke suspension pieces, exhaust, and everything combined to really make it that balanced, high-performance sports car that really is gonna give you a unique driving experience. So what I want to find out is, if you're looking for that high-powered sports car, do you go to one of your local dealerships and just buy another Mustang? Or maybe you're going to get yourself a Corvette or something. Or do you give Sarasota Super Sport Performance a call and go with something extra special, extra unique? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this muscle car Miata and find out. Right off the bat, you look at the car, and to the untrained eye, besides the wheels and tires, and if you look closely at the brakes, you would think that this is just a standard MX-5 Miata RF. But that's just where it begins. Now, at the front of the business, what I like is that they didn't do a lot of changes. They kept it the current gen, so you're gonna get that great style of headlight design. I really felt like with this generation, they gave a little bit more kind of aggressive look to it in a Miata to kind of cross the line, you know, because a lot of people are like, oh, Miata's too cute, whatever, I don't want to drive it. But it's once you get behind the wheel where you see how you're connected to this car. And I know a lot of people have always said about the Miata, oh, I wish it had more horsepower. Well, guess what? You're going to get your wish answered. But boy, oh boy, is it in such a unique way. Now, from that low slung nose, you can see how we have the lower stock splitter. Obviously, Mazda got it right when it came to aerodynamics on this car. And then, of course, that long, low slung hood just has a really nice, sexy appeal. And what I like about sitting behind the wheel of any current gen MX-5 Miata is that the two fender peaks give it good visual reference points. And you're gonna need those visual reference points because one of the things to know about this car, no stability control, no traction control. So this really is the car for the true driving enthusiasts. Now, as we come around the bend, here's where we start to talk about some of those changes. First of all, we're sitting on a different suspension setup. So we have those Fox coilover suspension with the iBox springs, and then you're gonna notice that we're running these 949 racing wheels. They're actually 17 inches in diameter by 9. But what you'll notice behind the wheels are those Wilwood 6-piston brake calipers with our special enlarged rotors. Those are 12.88-inch rotors up front. They're 2-piece and they're slotted. Now remember, when you look at a 2-piece rotor that's slotted, it's all about cutting down on heat buildup and lowering our rotating mass. But it's really awesome to see them using Wilwood. Everybody and their mother knows Brembo. Brembo. These are not off-the-shelf Wilwood brakes. These are the real deal racing brake package. 6-piston up front, 4-piston out back. It has, of course, adjustable sway bars. And with the Fox coilovers and those iBox springs, not only is it going to give you that great look with the 949 racing wheels, but also it's going to give you that great feedback that's going to allow you to take advantage of what's underneath the hood. Now, when you're looking at the tires, we got these Falcon tires, obviously selected for their grip. Tires up front are 235 on the width with a 40 series sidewall. And the folks at Sarasota Supersport Performance decided to basically keep the stock ride height from the factory. And the reason why is because Mazda got so many things right. But if you're going to throw more horsepower, that's where we see the beefier brakes and, of course, upgrading the suspension pieces, but not dramatically changing and just dropping this to the ground. That doesn't automatically make a better handling sports car having it sit on the ground. But let me know what you think about the wheel choice and, of course, just the way everything looks with those Wilwood brakes. Now, as we come down the side, we have their badge. Like the way it's nice, tasteful, nothing too over the top. Speaking of top, what I love about this particular one is that RF, the retractable fastback. Yes, you're gonna get the more purity in the cloth soft top of that traditional sports car experience, but I like the way, especially here in Florida, we get a lot of rain. It's nice to have that hard top. Now, coming towards the rear, we drop down so you could check out our 4-piston Brembo calipers. And Brembo, I'm so used to saying Brembo because that's what these cars, so many cars come with those Brembo calipers, Wilwood calipers. And then what's interesting is out back, we got 235s on the rear tires as well. Now, when it comes to the drivetrain, not only do we have bespoke pieces for the sway bars, those adjustable sway bars, we also have a bespoke drive shaft, which we'll talk more about that when we pop the hood. And of course, the rear end, the rear differential. It's got 391 gears, obviously limited slip diff. It's borrowed, the rear end is borrowed, believe it or not, from a 5th gen Camaro SS. Long tube headers that are specifically built for this application that flow all the way into this amazing exhaust finisher tips, which I'll show you in a second. But like I said, just the way the car sits and knowing that you have competent braking equipment plus suspension equipment and 391 gears with limited slip diff. Now, as we come around the back, keeping that sleeper look, not making it look crazy with a big, huge wing or anything like that. You're just gonna have that nice gloss black kick-up spoiler on your rear. We even keep the MX-5 badge, but there's that SS badge. And remember, SS standing for Super Sport. We drop it down to ground level, and here's where you're gonna have, as you can see, those exhaust finishers. I love the way they work this lower rear diffuser area, and to have the twin outlet exhaust in the center to make that V8 sing, because like I said, we got V8 powered, LS3 power underneath the hood. But why don't we go ahead, outside's cool, but let's pop the hood and see the work that Sarasota Supersport Performance did in this Miata. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on our Miata SS. Automatically, you're gonna notice that we do have those Flying Miata hood struts. No prop rod to hold the hood open. Well, what are we looking at underneath the hood? This is the magic that Sarasota Supersport Performance brings. That is a GM Performance LS3 V8 crate engine. That's a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated V8, dyno tested, 410 horsepower, 412 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a Tremec T56 Magnum F custom geared gearbox. It's got the GM Performance ECU, a bespoke cold air intake system, the GM hydraulic steering system with a power steering cooler. And then wait until we get inside, because you're going to notice that we have even a bespoke shifter for this vehicle. You got a Wilwood clutch master cylinder with steel braided lines, and of course the Wilwood brakes also have steel braided lines. And they even added a manly horn, so that when you got to let somebody know that, hey, you're about to fly past them in this Miata SS, you could honk that horn and it's got a little bit more oomph to it. Now, cruise control is currently not available, and believe it or not, a windshield washer fluid reservoir is not currently available, but they are working on adding those two things back into the vehicle. But like I said, no traction control, no stability control. We got the 391 gears, we have bespoke heavy duty CV axles, and then we have that 3.5-inch steel one-piece drive shaft. High flow cats, a 5-mode active exhaust, and we have dual electric radiator fans. And that's what I was telling you about. So when you're looking at this car, you could take your Miata, throw a turbocharger on it, throw a supercharger. What's probably going to wind up happening is you're going to start breaking things. Not necessarily breaking things maybe in the engine, but in the drivetrain. With this turnkey example, everything has been chosen, from the V8, from the bespoke setup with your airbox, all the other goodies, including that drive shaft, which I'm very happy to say is steel, because I think it's going to take that torque in this small car application to those 391 gears in the rear end, and you got the half shafts as well. So it's one of those things that this is not only going to be able to produce the power you want, but it's going to be able to be reliable and handle the power that you're given to it. But why don't we go ahead, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's fire up this muscle car Miata and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this Sarasota Supersport Performance Miata SS with the Honey Badger badges on the fenders. Such a nice touch, because, as you know, you don't mess with the Honey Badger. And I think a lot of people in other high-performance cars are going to learn not to mess with this Honey Badger of a Miata SS. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I want this, I gotta have it. This is what I always thought the Miata should be, is a V8 powered sports car. How much is it? Turnkey, remember, that's something that we're talking about here. When we say turnkey, we're talking about the car gets built to your spec and then gets delivered to you. You fire it up and you get to have fun and put the biggest smile on your face that will last for miles and miles. If you want to go convertible soft top, you're looking at a price right around $88,900. If you want to go with something like this RF, you're looking at a price tag around $93,900. But let's see what happens when this Miata SS gets done by Sarasota Supersport Performance to the door panels. I like the way they kept things simple and straightforward. You have your stock door panel Looks fine, the contrast stitching, the soft touch material, no gloss black. You slide on into the dash area. What do we got going on? Same thing, your stock stitching, infotainment system. This is not the stuff that makes you go fast. They do go ahead and change out your start stop button, something nice bright red carbon fiber. Where the changes are is that right here. This is a bespoke shifter for that 6-speed Tremec T56 gearbox. Very short throws, very crisp engagement, and I love the style of the shift knob with the gear pattern up top. You do have an Alcantara micro suede material on the shift boot with the stitching. More of that Alcantara on your mechanical e-brake. And then, like I said, everything else is going to be your stock functional Miata because they got certain things right. Love the way it's spec'd with the Recaro seats. The piping, the bolstering, of course, manual adjustments for the passenger, manual adjustments for the driver, and then you have that retractable fastback, which is that retractable hardtop of the RF. But why don't you come over here at the business end? I want to show you behind this special wheel in this Super Sport Miata. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. Of course, you got your MX-5 sill plate. One suggestion I would like to see from Super Sport Performance is maybe put their badging here on the sill plate. Would be a nice little thing to kind of greet you when you open up the door. But look at that pedal box, right out of a race car. You have that raw aluminum dead pedal, clutch, brake, and throttle. And of course, the pedal placement is perfect for that heel-toe downshifting. The crazy thing is, I'm 6 feet tall, and with the top up, there's still plenty of room to get a helmet on. Because if you do a track day or an autocross event, you're gonna obviously need to have your helmet on so you could get it on very easily. Steering wheel, I love what they did. You have the Alcantara mixed with this high quality perforated leather, that flat bottom design it is. Of course, the rest of it, Mazda Miata setup. And then look at the dash. I think the smartest thing to do is just change the tack. And what they did was is they went with a sort of kind of paying an homage to the GT40 with the way that that red line is right around 6,700 RPM and the way that the font of the numbers and everything. But you know what? I'm not showing you the trunk because who cares about a trunk in this car? If you're ready, I'm ready. We're gonna fire up this Miata SS and go for a little on-throttle spin. All right, guys, we are inside this honey badger of a Miata SS from Sarasota Super Sport Performance. Right away, I just love the Mazda stock seating position, but this gearbox and shifter is magical. The super short throws, the nice, clean, crisp engagement is really, really awesome. We have the exhaust. Now remember, the exhaust has 5 different modes. I have it in the loudest mode just because that's how I would drive it. The hell with keeping the peace. I want people to know that this isn't your standard 4-cylinder Miata, that's for sure. Steering wheel feels great. You got that hydraulic steering, which is gonna give you better steering feel overall. But if you're ready, I'm definitely ready. On throttle! Wow. Wow, wow, wow. We literally have come to the end of the road here. That was, that's crazy. The torque down low is amazing. You still got the use of your backup camera. And the clutch, it has a nice feel to it. It's not too heavy. God, this thing is ridiculous. Oh my God. I can't believe I'm in a Miata with a freaking V8. This is just ridiculous on so many levels. Clutch pickup is great. Are you ready? Second gear, on throttle! Yeah! Oh Oh my God. This thing runs so well. You got that linear torque delivery because of that LS3 V8, 6.2 liter V8. And like you saw over that big bump, the Fox racing suspension with the iBox springs allows it to really handle nicely and not be something that knocks the fillings out of your teeth. Wow, wow, wow. This thing is pretty incredible. And the fact that, you know, you're sitting here, you're in this car that just has so much power. We're gonna go ahead and put the top down, which what's cool is they've also reprogrammed the key fob to where you could actually put the top down from standing outside the car with one touch. That to me is smart engineering. We got the beep and we're good to go. You ready? I'm ready. Listen to it. Phenomenal, as they should be, with those Wilwood setup. Look at this. Wow. All the way up to 6,700 RPM. It just puts a smile on your face a mile wide. Is this the ultimate muscle cars Miata? Yes. Heel toe downshifting is a breeze. Wow. Unfreaking believable. I wish I had my towel. I'm having an eargasm. I'm having other gasms too, but you don't want to know about that. And then of course in a Miata, making a U-turn is a piece of cake. I mean, look at this. All right, let's see if I could get this thing to hook up. No stability control, no traction control. On bottom! Yeah! Absolutely amazing. Holy crap. I want to say some other words too, but this is just unbelievable. The steering is so precise. You can feel everything going on. That limited slip out the back. Believe it or not, getting power to the ground, it's not that bad, to be honest with you. Yeah, you're spinning, but if you modulate the throttle, she will hook up. Or you could just let her spin through all the gears. This is crazy. Absolutely nuts. Unbelievable what they've done at Sarasota Supersport Performance. All right, guys, you ready? I'm ready. On throttle! Yeah! This thing is a handful of fun. Wow. Woo-hoo-hoo! Yeah! Wow. 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 It just, this is what cars are about, moving in your soul. And if you want something that's different, that's gonna smoke the competition, basically what you're looking at is around 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds if you could get the power to the ground. And just, oh my God, it's just unbelievable what this car, it's so light and handles the bumps very, very well, very well. That's probably one of the things I'm most impressed with, to be honest with you, is how it handles the bumps. And then of course, like I said, U-turn is the no-brainer. I mean, look at this. So smooth. I would freaking love one of these. I would absolutely love one of these. Let's do one more on throttle for you, one more on throttle for me. Are you ready? You have to freaking pay attention to what you're doing, because this thing is an animal, an absolute animal. It's not for somebody that doesn't have the skill. You need the skill for this car. God. Absolutely mind-blowing. Fan-freaking-tastic. I don't want to give the keys back, but I have to. I have to. But we're gonna get back to Sarasota Super Sport Performance and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a Miata SS Super Second. All right, guys. As you saw, riding shotgun with me, very exhilarating, engaging experience in this Miata SS. And it really is not a pretender whatsoever. This is a true contender to really surprise the hell out of anybody when it comes to not only the way that it accelerates, but just the way that it communicates. You feel one with the car, and that's what it's all about. But we definitely got to thank Lawrence and the rest of the team over at Sarasota Super Sport Performance for having us out, giving us this special look of what they're doing turnkey. I think that's the other big thing to remember, is that this is a turnkey example. Everything has all been engineered for you. 180 hours of labor and time goes into the build of these vehicles, and you are ready to fire it up and enjoy it. But let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Definitely let Sarasota Super Sport Performance know what you're thinking. And obviously, if you want the baddest mamma jamma when it comes to small size with big power and the biggest smile that I've had on my face for a while, this is definitely one you got to consider. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Of course, we need to thank Stephen Flood, working that camera like a champ. His jaw dropped as soon as he popped the hood on this thing, because he sees the goods that's underneath it. So thank you, Stephen, for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.